Try this act again.
Well, hey, everybody, I want to get straight to it. So this is Sean and Pastor Steve with a before the sermon. This is, before you're about to preach again. We want to kind of get the lowdown on what you're going to be preaching on. Now, this is going to be tough, though, because you just preached on Israel conquering the promised land, right, with the issues with the Canaanites. So how are you going to follow that up?
Yeah, well, the easy way is I'll preach what's next in the text. This is part of the beauty of expository verse-by-verse preaching. We're not actually going to go verse by verse. We're going to take a section and do verse by verse, then another section. But anyway, one of the beauties of it is you always pretty much know what you're doing next. It's whatever comes next, right? So what comes next in chapter 1 that is a big enough segment to preach on is Moses deciding he needs leadership. Actually, his father-in-law, Jethro, we know from another scripture, told him, you need help, can't bear these people alone. So Moses sets things up where he's got leaders of thousands and leaders of hundreds and leaders of tens and so on. And that's going to get us into the subject of leadership. This is an important issue for our day, Sean, because as you probably would surmise yourself, that there's an anti-leadership, anti-authority attitude in the culture.
Right.
You can understand some of that because there's so much abuse of leadership, right? There's so many leaders, you can't trust them or they've got motives or whatever.
Yep.
But there's this anti-leadership culture. And then, of course, whatever's in the culture seeps into the church. So I've been a pastor a long time. There's an unusual amount of questioning authority, don't trust them, anti-leadership. And it's almost like if leaders make any decisions, it's almost like we have to be a democracy. If leaders just have a meeting and make a decision, then that's going to be considered lording it over the people. That's going to be like you're power-mongering the people here. When in reality, most decisions that are made have to just be made by the leaders. There are some decisions where we consult the people. We should. There are other decisions where we actually ask them to vote on something and indicate their intent. So there's a range of things here, but there's a bad attitude in many cases toward the church in this area of leadership. So we're going to get into leadership Old Testament and then bring into it leadership New Testament, hoping to help alleviate our church of any leadership people problems that might lie in our future otherwise. So the short answer is, what are we going to do next time? And I'm going to be like Pinky in the Brain. Same thing we do every day, Pinky.
Yeah.
Try to preach the word.
Preach the word.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that what they said in Pinky in the Brain? I thought it was, try to take over the world.
Take over the world, yeah. Yeah, we're trying to do that with the gospel.
Well, yes.
There you go.
Let his kingdom reign.
Yeah.
Very good, Steve.
I think we're out of time.
We are, but always love getting to get you in the studio and talk about these things. So looking forward to that next message.
Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.